In this lesson, we're going to see how we can do the clone effect, meaning that there are a bunch of videos of yourself or of somebody else in front of a green screen, and we're going to gather all of those videos and put them into one, maybe overlapping one another, and just create a clone effect with that one person. So I'm going to create a new composition because we're going to be creating a sequence. So just write whatever, clone, double click. And in the resource pack, you have 4 videos, as you can see. This is one person in 3 different videos, but they're all in a green screen. The other one is just a background, so just import all of them. And I'm first going to get the background. You can see we have like a kind of a party thing. So I'm going to use the clone videos and the background to show, for example, this person wants to announce that it's their birthday. So we're going to create a short clip of them dancing in front of this background. Again, I'm going to cut this down to 5 seconds because I want things to load fast for this lesson. So now that I have this background, I'm going to bring in the 3 green screen videos on top. And I'm going to right click on them, transform, fit to comp, all 3. So we have this first clip, and then we have the second clip, and then the third clip. We're going to put them all together in front of that background. Turn this on, and first I'm going to have to make all of them smaller. So click, then shift, and then the other one. Just scale it down, because we want some space for the text. Hold down Control, not Shift. And just make them. Hold on, I let go of. Let me see if they're all the same. Okay. Just grab all 3 again and just make them smaller. Because we want to put a text here, so we want to make sure there's space. And just drag them down. Because the body is cut off like this, we want to make sure that it matches with the bottom of our background. Also going to get the Align tab and center it in the middle like it is. But we don't want to do it this way because then it's going to, I guess we have to do it one by one. Yeah, so it's going to come up here. That's not what we want. We'll make sure it's at the bottom. And just do this with all of them. It was already in the center, but you can see it did a little bit of movement. Close this panel. We don't need it anymore. Again, I'm going to go at the end of my 5 seconds, grab all 3, Control-Shift-D or Command-Shift-D, and delete the duplicates. Now all videos end at 5 seconds. Now I'm going to name these layers because they all look the same. I'm going to name this background. The first video, let's call it dancing. Second one, I'm going to name it headphones. Third video, I'm going to name it happy. Right. Now we're going to just remove the green from each of them. So go to Effect, or you can just go here, Effects and Presets. Search for Key Light. Then you're going to get Key Light 1.2. Click and drag on all 3. Not the background, just the 3 dancing videos. Go on each one by one, get the eyedropper tool, and again select an area close to the subject so you are making sure that you're getting these sharp edges. So I'm going to choose this area. First one is gone. Second one, you can see it's behind her. Choose the second one. And then the third video, eyedropper tool, the third one. So now we have removed the green screen and we're left with the person just going around. Now you do notice that we do have these harsh edges. So what we need to do is just mask out the person only, so then we can later feather the edges. I'm going to start with the happy layer. I don't know if you guys can notice, but there is Just so you know what we're trying to get rid of. You see this line? We need to get rid of that. Turn this to fit. On the first layer, hit G on your keyboard to get the pen tool and just create a mask. Give it space when it comes to the character because we're going to feather it out. We don't want to get rid of the parts. Gotta curve it when it's near the head. Close this handle and just keep doing that until you have selected the person. I'm gonna go in a few frames and make sure that, okay, she does move out like that. Right, so we cannot really do this. We have to look for another mask method. I'm gonna get the shape tool. Let me delete this. Get the rectangle tool instead, and then just go around the original video. And then we're just going to open mask 1 and feather the edges. Just make sure it doesn't touch the tip of her head. So now we shouldn't have that problem anymore. And look at the mask. I'm going to make it bigger than the, let me delete that again. Make it bigger than the original video. And then we're going to add quite a lot of feathering. And now we're not seeing that line. Just like that. Let me go in again, Control T. Let's see. Don't know if that's from the background or the... Okay, we still have a little bit of green here. Let's bring it in closer, and now it's gone. All right. Turn this to fit. We don't have much of an issue here because it's dark, but here we need to be careful. All right, so we have to do that with all the other 3 layers. So turn this off, get the second video, and we're just gonna copy the mask because it's the same size. You can see with this video we do have a problem. So go on the happy video, Control C on mask 1, come to the second video, Control V. So now we have the same mask. Undo this, you can reposition it if you want. Then again on the third video, we're going to add the same mask. But now we have a problem, so we need to move the mask for the dancing video to the right. So Control T, just go in the mask first, select it, Control T. I'm going to move the mask here because she's opening up her hands. So we want to make sure it's visible throughout. Open the other 3. And I'm going to let this play. Close the layers, maybe a little laggy because we have a lot to deal with. And here we can see her hand actually moves out of the original video. And that's just not going to work out for us. So we need to kind of cut the composition short because the video, she kind of moves her hand out of frame. And also we have some fading effect that we need to fix. All right, I'm going to pause it here now that I know where the problem is. Go to mask 1 and just reduce the feathering because we are getting the thing from the feathering. We overdid it. This is the dancing video. Let me turn off the other 2. Alright, so the problem is gone. I'm going to bring back some of the feathering. That way I can know if I'm overdoing it. Let me zoom in on the head. You can see it's kind of fading out, so adjust the feathering according to that. Let's close that and get the headphones video. Close this as in the visibility. Open headphones and the mask. Just simply reduce the feathering until you can see the edges of her head. There we are. Close that. Get the third video. You can see it's faded. So we need to lower the masking. Make sure you always zoom in and examine your videos. so that there won't be a problem with the head like it was for us. Alright, I'm going to see if that thing still has a problem. Click away. And I'm going to play this. We're getting some noise, but it's not that visible. If you'd like, you could always just work with the screen mat. If you could change it and like work with the screen mat, you can kind of work it out and fix the thing. But for me, it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, it's a little bit of noise in the green light, which I don't mind because it's not that visible. But if it was in your case, you can just, let's go to clip white and just kind of lower it at a small amount. I'm going to play this, see if it runs okay. Alright, so now it's better. And remember, the white is the things that are visible, the black is, it's the opposite. If you're adding to the black, you're bringing the background. If you're removing from the white, you're removing the things that are visible, and usually that starts with the tiny dust and particles of the clip and not the main thing, unless you go like all the way down, then she fades away. Let's go back to 60, which is what we had. And I'm going to just apply that to all three because they were taken in the same area. I want to make sure that it's perfect. Clip white 60. Alright, so we have 3 people of the same person. And I'm just going to adjust the videos. You can see that the one in the back is kind of larger than the rest. So I'm just going to I'm just going to scale it down so they're the same size. There we are. And now it's time to move them around so it looks like they are in one video. We're going to choose which one is the main star. I'm going to leave the dancing first. I'm going to grab the headphone and just bring it to the right. Or better yet, because the dancing clip, which is the one in the center, her hands do disappear in the middle. I'm going to just move this below and cover her hands with these 2 other clips. Okay, we do have a problem here. Let's bring headphones below. Alright, so now it's looking better. The hands are looking alright. You can always move them around. Let me play this and see how this looks. So it's like she's in a party with herself and she's just really happy. We obviously have some things to do over here. It's alright, we'll get into that soon. I'm just making sure that there isn't an instant where one of the parts disappears. So I'm just making sure that everything is visible throughout the video, the sequence, and I'm not getting some awkward cutouts of my clip. I can see that the headphone video, it's a little bit larger than the rest, which wouldn't make sense if they were each other's clones. They would have to be identical. So just go to headphones. Let me pause this. The headphones and just bring this guy down. Try to scale her down, maybe like this much. Because now they have the same face size. Go from the beginning. Because she's a little too small. Let's enlarge that. Here. Bring her up a bit. Alright. So she is shorter in the beginning because she's kind of leaning back. That's just the way the video is shot. And now we just gotta fix up the little green screen issue that we had by going through the clips one by one. And we're going to try another method. Alright, so what we're going to do is to just re-key our video. So go on the headphone layer, and in the screen color, turn it to black again. And instead, we're going to get the eyedropper tool and just get the edge of the video. Now we do not have that option. And for us, it did work out. We do have a nice outline of our subject. So if this happened with your videos, you can simply just rekey the clip, turn it to black so you can see, and then just get the edge. Focus on the lighter part, so we don't really need to care about here, but get the lighter area. Do it for this one. Again, the lighter area. Do that again. There we are. So now it should work better. I'm going to bring them back. And there we are. We don't have that problem with the line. I'm going to play it through. First, we need to let it render. And that's how we key things out. This may not happen with your own clips. It all depends on the background that you have. If you have a solid background or a light background, you wouldn't be dealing with this. But because we have a dark multicolor background, we did end up with this issue. But as you saw, it was pretty easy to fix. And we're now able to continue with the rest of our video creation, which was to just leave a "It's my birthday" text. Then we can maybe animate each of these clones so that they appear in a fun way. And then we can make this like a fun birthday announcement. Alright, so let's write our text. Go on the text tool. On the text tool, just click anywhere. You're going to make a new layer and write what you want. It's my birthday. Control A, select it all. Adjust the size with the character panel. And I'm going to just put it here. I'm going to make everything capital. Or actually this one. That was the wrong one. Make it all in capital. And if you want, you can change the font. Because I'm happy with the font. It's a cool font. I am going to kind of shrink the text and make it a little bold. Take the size down. I'm going to get the align panel and just center it in the middle. Also change the anchor point. Go on this guy and just click and drag this to any point that you want. I'm going to put it in the center. There we are. Let go once you're finished. Because I wanted to scale in, so the center is the best place for it. Go back to the selection tool. I'm just going to close these. Don't need them. And I'm going to just start animating each of these clips. But before that, I do want to give a effect to this. Close this and see if we have anything for text. Go into text category. And well, we could just go in the character panel. Maybe we could give it a stroke. A small amount. Like this. 6 pixels. You can change the color, I guess. We can choose. Let's get the eyedropper tool and get something fun. Turn it the opposite. And make the main text white. So it's just a silly old-fashioned post with the text. Actually I don't like that. I'm going to keep it without stroke. There we are. So now I'm just going to hit S on the text layer. Type 0. So it's going to pop out from here. Turn on the stopwatch. Move in a few frames. Say 1 frame. 1 second, I mean. And then we're going to bring it more than it was. So let's go for like 110. Then move in few frames and then go back to 100. Play this back. Okay, it's way too slow. Drag them and bring them here. I hit F9. And all three, I have to adjust the speed. Let's go back. All right. So we have this. We can also go in the graph editor. Just kind of make it come out in a better fashion. The speed, I mean. So it suddenly comes out. Have a look at that again. It's like it pauses and then it suddenly comes out. But the first keyframe, I'm going to make it less than 0. So let's go for like -30. Hold on, that's delete that. Actually, I think it's fine. No need to make it, because it's not visible in the first area. I'm going to click away. We're not really seeing anything. Alright, so I animated my text. Now I'm going to decide when I want the clones to come in. Let's start with the one at the back, so that's headphone. We're going to make that person appear from the right, because she is in the right. So I'm going to just move her out of frame. Just make sure that the bottom is aligned with the bottom of the composition. Move her completely out. Hit P. Turn on the stopwatch. Come in a few frames and just go to the X position and just drag her back to her position, which I believe was around here. F9. We're also going to do that with the other ones. So after headphones is, let's actually bring this above. So then happy, which is the one on the left, we're going to also do the same thing, but with the opposite side. I also want her to appear around the same time, so maybe like a little bit forward. We're going to hit P, turn on the stopwatch, move in at around part where a little bit after headphones comes in, here. Then bring her back to where she was. Like so. You can always come back and work with the keyframes. Then finally we have dancing. I want to make her come from below. So I'm going to drag that completely down. And around here where this guy is almost coming in, we're going to go to position and make the third clone appear. This time we're going on the Y position. Just go left to bring her up. And again, make sure the bottom aligns with the bottom of the composition. That would be here. Hit F9. And I'm just going to select all three. Hit M to close their properties. Go back. Let's see how it is. Gonna do that again now that it rendered. Okay, it's pretty good. We're just gonna add some motion blur. So I'm gonna click this to get this. This was before, after. And turn on motion blur for all three of the people, the clones. Alright, so I can see I need to move her a bit further because her hand is showing up. Go here and open the transform, delete this, and then make sure she goes completely out so we don't see one hand just moving around. That does not look good. Click away. Now we have this motion blur effect, which makes things more smooth for us. Alright, it rendered. Let's see. Coming in. Again, you can work with the speed. You can close them in so they appear faster. That is what I'm going to do. This is the dancing video. Just bring them in closer. And hit P to quickly access the box. Just adjust each one until they have a similar position. You can see this guy is really long. So like when this finishes, this guy appears. And when this finishes, this guy appears. So it's like one by one. I'm gonna hit P on that, so I'm only seeing that. And I'm just going to get my time indicator to make sure that they appear around a more organized time. So I'm going to go in the end keyframe, just make sure that we have this step motion with the keyframes. So they appear like that. Play that again. They blur out and they quickly jump in. But if you want them to appear while the other one is coming in, you can just go into center and make the next keyframe come in the center of the center space of the previous two keyframes. So we have this. So we still have that staircase effect, but it's a bit more closer. And the clones are going to appear together. All right. Also going to make this text maybe kind of pump in as all of them appear. I'm going to hit S again. And I'm going to make a keyframe. Just click on this diamond thing. Come in a few frames and then just go for 110. Move in another frame, control right arrow key, go back to 100. So it's going to appear. I'm just going to close this real quick. It's going to appear, it's guys coming in, and that's going to like pump one last time. Make this bigger. So it's like a reminder. And we have this cool post green screen effect, where we created this clone effect with the same person using the key light effect that we added. And this was just one example. If you have maybe a more creative background, for example, it's a stage. You can green screen yourself, as in take a video of yourself in front of a green screen. Just make sure that the lighting and the color of that green screen is similar. Then maybe you can put yourself singing, yourself playing the guitar, yourself playing the drums. The possibilities are endless. And about the green screen, you don't really need to get those expensive kind of covers. You can always just get a green cardboard. Just anything green will do. Just try to avoid wrinkles or uneven lighting. So if your green screen, like we saw here, the green screen was all the same shade throughout, and like half of it was in a darker green because the light exposure wasn't equal. Because if you do that, the key light is going to be more complicated because you will end up removing the lighter green, and then the darker green is going to just be there. For beginners, try to avoid that. Just try to get an even lighting when you're shooting your own green screen footage. You can always just download some from the internet so you can practice before you move on to your own green screen creations. So that was how you can do this. It was really simple, a really fun and silly thing to do with your green screens. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.